Welcome to episode 8 of Malevolence, and I got the word right, which is awesome. I am accompanied with some of my cast members, some couldn't make it today. I'm Noble Goblin, of course, and I'll be your GM as we make our way through this haunted house, which we are slowly approaching the finale, so keep tuned to see that. I'm going to kick it over to Mia. You might have some announcements before we introduce everybody.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? I'll introduce myself first really quick. I'm Chris, or Mia El Chivo, in the Discord server, and I am playing the character Byron Aldrich, the champion of Pharasma. And you guys might notice today that we're missing 2 cast members. We had to say goodbye to Gray. He's going to be stepping up in the world. He got a new job, and so he's not able to play with us anymore, sadly, but we're gonna keep him here in spirit. And Red, we're not sure why he's not here tonight. I'm sure we'll find out, but he had to cancel last minute, so we made some last minute plans, and we're gonna make tonight's episode. That being said, I'm gonna pass it over to Rocket.
Hey everybody, it's Rocket, playing the cleric Roskarn Sangravel. Skull.
Hey guys, my name is Justin. You may know me as Skull525 on Discord. I am playing Elias Vale, a human investigator who, if we don't remember, is running away.
Yep, he started running.
For no particular reason.
Yeah. Such a good joke.
All right. As the lights go down and we get into the haunted session of Malevolence, last time, they did not welcome them. The moment they stepped across the threshold, the air convulsed, pews rippled free from the floor, stones shrieked across cracked tile, an unseen force sieged the sanctuary with impossible strength, violent, territorial, and furious. And at this first display of power, our fearless investigator ran. Not by choice. This poltergeist's presence crushed down on his mind like a divine flea to command to flee. Terror took hold, faith fell, and the chapel belonged to something else new. But the panic is not the end of the story. Through the flying debris and the splintered woods, our wizard Ulberd stood firm. Words of arcane mischief slipped into the chaos, sharp, precise, and deliberate. And then, the tyrant of the chapel slipped. The invisible force buckled mid-rage, collapsing onto the floor in a fit of uncontrollable laughter, racked prone, powerless for a single humiliating moment. In a house that feeds on fear, it was force to laugh. The chapel fell silent, because nothing is more dangerous than a spirit that has just been embarrassed. This is episode 8. Let us pray it has a sense of humor. Last left off, we are in the chapel. We are facing this poltergeist. The poltergeist is by the altar of Pharasma, laid on the floor in fits of laughter. We're going to start at the top of the turn order, and is actually starting at Elias Vale, who has just made it to the door. I believe this is your last round to run, or did you already run 2 rounds last time?
Nope, I got one more round.
So running at full speed, you should probably make it to the gates of the manor house pretty much right before you actually exit the manor house is where you're going to be ending at on your turn.
Dang.
All right, next up is Roskarn Sandgravel.
All right. I will sustain the spirit ward. Oh, I don't need to. It says 8 rounds remaining, so I don't need to spend an action to sustain it. I believe. If I get it wrong, I'm sure somebody in chat will.
We'll hear about it, that's for sure.
We'll hear about it, yeah. Yeah, duration sustained for up to 1 minute.
That's 10 rounds. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Did we do recall knowledge on this thing?
I don't think so. I know normally our investigator does a lot of recall knowledge, but he hasn't been here these last 2 rounds. I do believe y'all found out it is a poltergeist.
Right. Okay. Excuse me. Let's just do that first. We'll do a recall knowledge. Like to remember if it is affected by vitality damage.
Yes. With a roll of 19 on the die, your religion makes it a 30, which is a success. You get one question. What was that question again?
Will vitality damage hurt this poltergeist?
No, it has 0 weaknesses other than Varric, Stone Veils, and Thesis.
So it's not an undead or otherwise has void healing. I guess that would be my question is this creature undead or otherwise have void healing?
Well, it is undead. So it should be weak to vitality, right?
Yeah. That's it. Just determine which spell that I cast upon it. So we will cast Vitality Lash. That is a 12 on the die for the flat check that passes.
Basic fortitude save. That is a success, almost a crit. So that is, what is this? SS half damage?
Basic fortitude, yeah. So just gonna roll some damage and it gets to take half of that, which is a 352 for a total of 10 vitality damage. And that'll end the turn.
Right. You hear it screech in pain as a vitality latch wraps on its body, as it is the poltergeist's turn. Let's see what it could do as it's trying to make sure what all the status effects they have on him, because y'all did a lot to it last session. Trying to see that laughter. How long does that last on it? Where it's okay. Yeah, so I can't react this round because it fell laughing last time, and I remember critically failing it last session. So it is Ulberd's turn. So you see, it goes to the poltergeist. The poltergeist is just laughing so uncontrollably that it just cannot act. But then there's silence as you look over at Ulberd. You notice he's kind of distracted. Mid-fight, you see him kind of glancing down at the back of his hand for some reason. And as his distraction, he is missing his turn. Barian, you're up.
Oh, shit. Ulberd, focus! And then Byron's going to raise his Ghost Touch Temple Sword and strike while this thing's laying on the ground. Now's my moment. It's a 22 for the roll with a 16 flat check passing the DC.
Oh yeah, would that be off guard for prone? That is a hit.
Let's go. All right, damage gonna be 6 on the die for a 10.
You see it screech in pain as your ghost-touched sword slides into it. That's one action. You got 2 more to go.
Does this thing have stunned at all? It's not stunned right now, right?
Let me double check to make sure the hideous laughing fit for Pathfinder.
I
no,
don't
it's not
believe it
feature.
does.
So yeah, it does not.
Right. Last 2 actions are going to be to cast Daze.
Right.
That's a natural 20 for my flat check, so let's go. The DC is 15 for the will save.
Critical success.
Shit. Okay, I'm not even going to roll the damage then. That's my turn.
Right. As the turn moves over to Varric, our thaumaturge, you see he's also a little distracted. He glances down at this poltergeist. Then his head shifts over to Ulbrich, and then back to the poltergeist. You see almost like this imperceptible string. Somehow, as Elias, you're up. You have finished your run. Do you stay outside or you turn around and head back?
Now that Elias has his legs all stretched out, he is going to try to make his way back to help out his friends.
Sure. You begin your run. The rain is still pouring on you. Lightning's in the background. You make it past the trees and back to the doorstep of the manor. You hear this almost ominous whisper. You're too late for your friends. Go and flee. As it goes back to Roskarn.
Okay. Seeing the effect of the vitality lash from the last attempt, we're going to do a little. Well, we're going to do it again. He's going to reach back in, summon that energy again, lash it forward into prone poltergeist. The die rolls a 7 for the flat check, which passes. Then you have that basic fortitude.
That is a failure. Full damage.
Roll on, roll on. That is an 8 on the die total, or 8.
Again, he screeches. This creature screeches in pain as the vitality is almost burning through its like ectoplasm. As the laughter finally stops. Oh, you still got a turn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's still got one action, but all I was going to do with that is to raise my shield.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Right. As the lash burns into its ectoplasm, the laughter finally stops as it spends an action to rise, not really to its feet, but to its little hovering in the air in front of Varric and Byron. One more round of feeble. That's still on. It hisses as it looks at the group. It screeches at Byron as it lifts a hand. You see old pews and stones start to lift Byron
Oh shit.
as it spends 2 actions to do telekinetic storm. Out of poltergeist telekinetically throws small objects such as a dozen pieces of silver and yada yada. And I take about 2 penalty for each creature, but it is all focusing on Byron. I am dazzled, so I do have a DC 5 flat check. And I roll a 1.
Let's go.
So you see these chairs start rising, and they start flying in directions not even near you, Byron. As Ulberd is back up. He's still staring at his head. He's got his staff kind of under his armpit, and he's kind of rubbing his hand vigorously on the pan. You can almost see like sweat dripping down the side of his cheek. Maybe like he's in pain a little bit. Byron, you're up.
Ulberd! I'll look down at this ghost, look over at Ulberd, and I think maybe the ghost is doing something right now, so I need to finish this quick. I'm going to strike it once again. It's targeted. That's a 17 to hit and a 16 for the flat check.
17 is a miss. You do have grit points. Don't forget, everybody has 1 grit point right now. You are welcome to re-roll this or take the miss.
I'm grit pointing it. I gotta save my homie.
That is a miss.
Right. 1 action to miss. I think my second action, I'll just attack again. I'm out of a shield right now. 19 for... Oh, sorry. 23 for the to hit, and then 5 for the flat check.
That's a hit. I'm with the hit.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's gonna be a hit.
Okay, I'm rolling damage now. 6 on the die. 10 more damage.
What does it look like as your ghost touch blade stops this poltergeist?
Okay, so he's looking over at Ulberd and he sees that he's in pain. Not exactly sure what's going on, but it only happened after we just started fighting this poltergeist. So, making the connection, he raises his sword up into the air, and like a mystical blue flame kind of envelops it. Not necessarily a flame, just more like an aura, I guess. And he swings it down as hard as he can right on the shoulder of this ghost, and it kind of just slices right through. And then it disappears.
As the ghost dissolves, so this poltergeist uncoalesces. I don't know if that's the word. You see her final scream from it, tearing from its mouth, ear shattering. You see the windows begin to shake to the outside. And then it's gone. Not fading, not dissipating, just gone. The chapel does not feel cleansed, though. It kind of feels hollow. As you stand there, looking at where this poltergeist used to be, the room begins to shake slightly. You see a crack appear on the Pharasma statue as what looks like a holy symbol atop it just kind of tumbles off and lands on the ground by Varric. You see a thin fracture kind of crawling on the surface of this holy symbol, then another, then snap. It sounds so small, but it echoes far too long. A pulse rolls outward from this altar. Not light, something deeper. It almost settles in your bones, in the back of your teeth, in your skull. The candles and lights in the room kind of flicker as the temperature begins to plummet. You begin to see your breath fog in front of you. Those beside Ulberd notice him stiffen. The staff under the crook of his arm, you see him kind of grab it and his fingers tongue around it. As he turns his palm towards you all, you see this sigil that is burned like faintly across the skin on the back of his hand. Dark red, as though carved beneath his flesh. Not ink, not blood, but something older. You hear Ulberd mutter, I did cast. But as he tries to finish the words, the stone walls behind him begin to groan deeper and heavier, like something vast shifting inside them. You feel his grip on his staff falter as it slips from his hand. It strikes the chapel floor with this loud crack, the sound ringing out like a struck nail to the coffin. And then you see it behind him. Not his shadow, but a second shadow. This one does not match Ulberd's shapes. The limbs are too long, the posture way too wrong. The shadow's head is tilted sharply to one side. One of his hands, you can tell, is missing in the shadow. Only absence. As the shadow leans forward slowly, even deliberately, you see it place the other hand on Ulberd's shoulder. You see Ulberd, his body, he goes rigid. You see him trying to move, but he can't. A faint whisper, Evelyn. It barely comes out, his voice trembling. The shadow, it bends to his head to its ear. You see the candles around. Even with Varric's magic, the candles and torches go out. And in the blackness, you hear a whisper from this voice. One word. Content. As the candles flicker back to life, you see Ulberd as he mouths another word back. No, Evelyn. You see the stones behind him ripple like disturbed water, the shadow pulling him slowly backwards. You see his boots scrape uselessly against the chapel floor as his eyes locks on all of yours. Fear, confusion, and something like a terrible understanding. Tell her. The wall begins to swallow him. Tell her I'm sorry. I won't make it home. His fingers are the last to vanish. The candlelights go back to their full brightness. Ulberd's staff still laying where it fell, alone and cold. That faint sigil that was on his hands now burned into the stone behind him. And somewhere deep within the Zarin manor, you hear the click of a door unlock. The room is silent. All this happens within a split second, almost too fast for you to register, too fast for you to react. And then you hear your thaumaturge begin to inhale, sharply, not in fear, but in recognition. His eyes go distant as he stares at the sigil burned into this wall. His lips begin to move. The words not uncommon. They are old, dry, like the wind across a graveyard. Veles, Mortrin, Kai, Pharasma, Slin, Ulthe, Var. As the air grows colder around him, the holy symbol he carries on his chest begins to tremble as his voice drops to a whisper. This is not death. His pupils dilate. Something unseen presses against his mind. He takes one step towards where Ulberd was, then another. And then he collapses, unconscious. The chapel, it stands silent once more as you see your investigator coming up the stairs, his breath heavy from his exertions. The 2 candles flicker. Now that Ulberd is gone, and your thermometer is lying motionless on the chapel floor, and somehow below, you know, something has awakened.
Shit. Byron's gonna run up to Varric really quick. Varric! He'll lean down next to him and flip him over. I assume he fell as he was walking forward. And I'll kind of like slap him on the face a little bit. Varric, wake up! What happened? I'll look up at everyone else.
As you slap him, you can tell he is breathing. Very steady. But his eyes are kind of rolled up into his skull. And he kind of twitches every now and then, like maybe in the spasms of a dream.
I think he's dreaming. Elias, Roskarn.
What is going on?
Ulberd vanished.
How did he vanish?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. You feel that presence that released.
I did.
Honestly, I was running. I don't know if I'm a little out of shape.
You released something of yourself, did you?
I exerted a lot.
Seems like Ulberd was taken below. That sigil on the stone next to you, it appeared when he vanished, right where he was standing. Skarn, did you see anything else?
So it looks like we need to go down then.
My best bet. We have to save Ulberd, but Varric won't wake up. The 3 of us, that could be dangerous.
The first thing we need to do, as shocking as Ulberd's disappearance is, the first thing we need to do is make sure that Varric is stable and that we are safe here.
Does anybody know anything about poltergeists?
My first experience.
As mine. Can Elias try to do any type of recall knowledge to see if this area would be safe? Like essentially that this poltergeist will not come back?
Sure, roll me a... you can do the macro, or you can do a religion, or an occultism.
I'm gonna do occultism.
That is a blind roll, just for me to see. You know that poltergeists normally, if not permanently destroyed by some, by ritual or whatever's keeping this ghost here, it will respawn. Not respawn, but come back within a certain amount of days. You don't know exactly how many days it will take, but there's a good chance this one will come back.
So, how was this thing defeated? Did you guys do any type of ritual to get rid of it?
I just killed it with my holy sword.
I see. Well, with that being said, it will come back. Could be a day, could be a week, do not know. So I do not think this area here is safe for us. So we need to try to find somewhere else to go.
I recommend the library.
I will mention that when we killed the poltergeist, when Byron killed it, finally slayed the thing, the symbol of Pharasma fell off the statue, and Roskarn will point at it. And then it cracked, and then cracks formed on the statue. And as the symbol broke, that's when that pulse we felt, that's when that occurred. They may be linked to the poltergeist's death, or at least temporary removal, if it's not a permanent death. It is intention to bring this up in a suggestive way. Not a suggestive way, in a way to suggest that we should destroy the statue, but perhaps a purification.
I would prefer to purify it first myself before choosing to destroy. My lady's visage has already been ruined so much.
Either a repair or some sort of purification ritual. Would Roskar know anything about that? Like, Pharasma is not his deity. He doesn't follow her teachings, so I don't. He was just pulling from his own training and initiate acolyte training and all
Definitely.
that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Being a cleric, you would know different purification rituals. As far as the one for Pharasma, the church or temple you're from, this is was it specifically a Razni's temple, or was it one of those multicultural faith temple that would have like 6 different alcoves with 6 different deities?
It was one of the latter, because Erasni doesn't really have, especially in this area of the world, especially. Maybe she would, or something, but not necessarily this neck of the woods with a specific dedication of it. So she might have a small cloister in one of those multi-dimensional ones.
Yep.
So, or possibly like a small sect attached to the Pharasman Church, or one of the multidisciplinary ones. He was very much insulated from most of the other going-ons, and kept very protected within whatever small sect dedicated to Erasni he was found in.
Okay. Well, see, what we'll do is I'll set a DC. Give me a recall knowledge religion. Okay, and if you pass that DC, you remember something while you was in this multicultural church based on Pharasma. If you don't, you do not remember the ritual.
Okay. And you want that blind, right?
It'll be a blind religion. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. You actually critted it. You definitely remember either hearing some of the other clerics in the temple talk about it, or even maybe reading a book and it was in there. But you do remember purification rituals for Pharasma?
So that we could attempt the ritual. It will take some time, though. How much time? I'm going to leave that up to DM Fiat. How much time do you think that would take? I mean, I'm going to guess like quite a bit of time, because it's in the middle of a still very corrupted house.
I will say 4.5, so we'll say 5 hours. Perform the ritual, you meditate, and in 5 hours the purification will be done.
That would be just Roskar doing it? Or would that be with all of us combined effort?
That would be just Roskar. If, say, since we do have a Pharasman, what are you, Baron? A champion?
Yeah.
We can probably cut that in half. I'll say that. We'll cut it in half to 2 hours.
Go.
Would you both work
That's more
together?
comfortable.
As long as you pass we'll put a DC with another religion check. I'll let one of you aid, one of you be the main role. And if you pass the DC, 2 hours, no problem. If you crit, probably knock that in half. So, for our viewers, though, as you prepare for this ritual, what do y'all do?
I'll probably grab some of the incenses and aromas that I would have in my Pharasman prayer pouch.
What do y'all do with Varric's body as it's laying there?
That's a really good question. Is he stable just down? Like just like kind of like unconscious moving?
Baron didn't do no checks, but just listening to his breathing, he seems to be just unconscious. He's breathing normal. He just isn't waking up.
Okay.
We'll prop him up in that chair over there by the table.
Yeah, we can weekend at Bernie's. Yeah, we can put him in the chair or put him on the table or something to kind of keep him in eyes view, or at least in attentive view, to monitor. Maybe Elias, you can keep an eye on him and check now and then during the ritual to if he needs anything. I could cast Rousing Splash on him, which probably wouldn't do anything.
Theoretically, it probably would. Narratively, right now, probably not.
No, that's what I mean. Narratively,
Yeah.
wouldn't do much. It would give him a little bit of temporary hit points, but he's not in need of hit points. It would just be as an attempt to wake him up.
Actually, he is pretty hurt right now.
Yeah. Okay, so if we take 10 minutes to gather materials and set out the sigils and stuff, if we between Roskarn and Byron, if we know what that is, Roskarn can let Byron do that while he does some treat wounds check on Varric.
Sure.
Okay. I'll roll a religion really quick.
I will do treat wounds. Ooh, that is a 2. I'm going to grit point that one to an 18 for a crit success.
Let's go.
Yes.
2d8 hit points. I'm correct? Am I correct on that?
I believe you double it. Treat wounds is...
If it's a crit success, treat wounds should be 4d8 on the normal 20 DC.
Yeah, 48. Yeah.
All right.
20 HP. He is full health now.
Okay, cool. And after that 10 minutes, Roskarn will go and help Byron with the ritual.
He already gave me his religion check. Give me yours.
You want that blind again?
Yeah,
I guess.
blind again. Okay.
Cool.
And as y'all are performing this ritual, cleansing this temple of the evil, Elias, this is about 2 hours of downtime for you. What are you doing? As you stand there watching them, or what?
Elias would be one checking on Varric, making sure that he's good throughout this, and then he would also be kind of walking around in this room to essentially look for any clues.
Why don't you give me a perception check?
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. As you are kind of looking around, almost close to where the sigil is kind of burned into the wall, you notice what looks like a false floor, like one of the floorboards comes up.
Elias will make a note of it and then wait for after the ritual to say anything.
It's a mimic.
All right, the 2 hours pass. The ritual is a success. You feel almost calm in a room the house that is eerie as this one. The room after the ritual feels sane again, really. You're not feeling that foreboding. Even Elias, who's been like he's at home, you know, he could stay here forever, isn't getting that feeling in this room anymore. He almost wants to leave and go to other parts of the mansion.
I feel like that worked. I don't know how else to explain it, but other than I feel like it did. Does anybody else feel the same?
Yeah, I think so. I would say that Roskarn here is well versed in the ways of Pharasma.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. If you weren't here, if we didn't have a Pharasman here, this wouldn't have gone as well. Can we see any changes on the statue that, like, maybe it mended itself, or any physical characteristics that we could see that may have changed on the statue that would let us know that the ritual completed very successfully, or even just mildly successfully?
Oh, definitely. One second.
Mm-hmm.
As you sit there staring at the statue, expecting something to happen, something miraculous, expecting Byron's patron to answer the call. After about 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes, you don't see nothing. But then, as you almost start to turn away and do other things, work on surviving, finding Ulberd, you see the wound, the crack, the scratch running down the side of this visage of Pharasma. You see it reluctantly begin to stitch itself close. You see, just ever so slowly, fragments of shattered marble drag across the floor, almost inch by inch, leaving thin little white trails of dust. You see, like a broken finger of hers begin to twitch, and almost like if y'all remember back in the day, Thing from Adam's Family, it begins to crawl itself across the room, itching its way up the statue, pulling itself back into place on the wrist. There's no flash of light or no divine warmth, only the patient sound of something correcting what was an insult at one time. The head of Pharasma that was kind of cracked, tilting downward, begins to tilt upwards. The split along the torso begins to seal with a deep, resonant thud. And then again, silence. Nothing else. It seemed to change. The statue is whole. The expression is sharper than before, the eyes more smooth and lifelike.
Look at that, Roscarn. We put my lady back to her proper posture, standing proud once again.
As you're saying this, you kind of glance over the statue. As you move a little closer, you notice that crack that happened when the poltergeist died. You know, it's gone, but almost like there's a scar where it used to be, running down her chest.
Whoa.
Good. Glad to see it. And Roscarn makes a note to himself, just in his brain, about it, and feels a little bit more confident, but not much.
Yeah.
And turns back to Varric to check on him and make sure that he's still stable, and then turns to Elias and asks Elias if Elias had found anything during this ritual time.
So Varric appears to be good throughout this. Now, I did find over here as he kind of walks over and shows them the loose floorboard.
Okay, let's have a look.
You find a scroll of restoration, 4th level, and a scroll of ghostly weapon. Also, you see a leather-bound book with the word A kind of in red, like red gloss on the front of it. Very old, very dusty.
I don't need these scrolls if anybody else would like them. The book, however, I would like to glance at that first unless somebody else objects. Varric, do you object?
Doesn't sound like he objects. Go right ahead.
I will take those scrolls. Looking, Roscarn will say, I think I am likely the best person here. I'm likely the one who can make the best use of these scrolls.
Real quick, y'all did gain XP, and Roscarn, you did gain a grit point. I'd already added it to your sheet for you.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
Elias, do you open the book?
I don't like that you said that, but yes, he does.
Yes. As you open the book, T forms in the letters. I'm playing. The book opens as you fill the front page. It's old and worn. You can tell this is decades old. On the front, it says the diary. I'll close my page. Hold on. The diary of Asthena Zarwin.
Just like gold to Elias.
Yeah, you see that he just has a giant grin on his face after he reads that.
Elias, don't drool on the pages now.
Yes. Are we staying here tonight? like in this room, are we adventuring? Essentially, this is a diary that I really would like to read.
Well, I say read away. Varric isn't waking up anytime soon, it seems, and, well, we're in as safe a spot as any. I could probably check a couple rooms nearby, but I won't go too far.
I would agree. This is probably the safest spot.
Elias immediately sits down. Basically, once you said that he could start reading, he ignored everything else and just sat down and started to read this.
He just kicks Varric out of the chair.
Certainly. Okay, so pretty much gonna have some downtime here. Y'all going to like barricade this library so nothing can get in? I know, Byron, you said you wanted to look around a little bit outside the library.
Actually, we're upstairs right now, right? On like the second
Yep.
floor. Yeah, I think we might want to barricade the stairs, maybe, because whatever we felt was coming from below, so we want to be prepared for anything coming that way. Everywhere else, we could probably keep it open. I mean, it's a tight enough space that we're not going to have to worry too much about something sneaking up on us from far away. It'll be right around the corner if it gets to us, and then we can deal with it. That's my opinion. What do you guys think?
I think high ground is better than low ground.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a fan of all these windows and doorways. Maybe there's something. Maybe we can't necessarily block up the windows, but perhaps we can put some obstacles in front of the doors just to give us a warning, if nothing else. That's not necessarily going to stop incorporeal.
Like the cans on string type of thing.
Yeah, just something that kind of gives us a bump or a knock or something if something physical tries to enter the doors. But if
Okay.
it's incorporeal, like a ghost or a poltergeist or something, it's just going to phase through and then we're in it. So I don't think there's much else we can do.
Yeah.
I do feel, just personally, I feel like if we stay closer to the statue here, we will have a better time.
Oh yeah, I don't plan on going too far. I'm gonna open a few doors. I probably won't even step into the rooms.
We will start with Elias. Elias, you got this book, and you are reading. You are flipping through it. This is a research book, so you get to learn more about this Astana Zarwin. I just need some lore checks. If you got library lore, diplomacy, society.
Society.
With the book, I'll give you a +1 to your rolls. Yeah. So it's been 2 hours. You've been reading, you've been studying, you've been learning all about this woman, and you've earned 3 research points, which lets you know that Astana Zarwin, which is a human woman, was the wife of Paracount Eosif Zarwin. They had 2 children, twins, named Marnie and Mira. Sorry. I'm gonna let you roll again because you can stay up all night if you want. Every 2 hours you can re-roll another check. But let's go over to Byron. Byron, you was wanting to explore a little bit before you went to bed.
Yeah, I'm thinking this door over here to the left, to our west. I'm gonna take a step towards it in this hallway. Looks like this side over here. I'm not sure what that is. A ladder?
It's like a book alcove. There are several books lining the walls here. Some are falling on the floor. That is the ladder that was actually lined up against the books to get to the top area of books.
Okay. So yeah, this is the only door in here other than that one to the south. So I'll check this western door first. I'm gonna step up, give it a slight little wiggle in the knob to test if it's locked or not.
It kind of moves smoothly. The knob twists like it's not locked.
All right. I would like to roll a stealth with this. It's not going to be very good. But,
Okay.
hey, you miss every shot you don't take. We're going to roll now. I probably should have done that secret, but
That's fine.
my bad.
Sure. You think you're stealthy.
Okay, perfect.
You open the door. You see a 10-foot wide balcony that winds around what is the entry hall of the manor. The edges adorned with elegant but dust-caked wooden rails. To the south, you see a large grandfather clock that stands on a platform extending from the balcony. Beyond the clock, you see 4 tall windows in the southern wall appear to be caked with filth and grime. And to the north of the stairs, the frame of elegant wooden double doors is decorated with stars, planets, and comets. As soon as you open the door, that grandfather clock goes ding, ding, ding.
If anyone in the room is paying attention to what I'm doing, as soon as it goes off, you might see Byron jump just a little bit.
Okay, with that jump, you lose a grit point. Nah.
It's okay. I didn't have any to begin with. Okay, so by the looks of it, I'm assuming this is the set of stairs that leads down to the main entryway.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I'm going to take an ominous look at that grandfather clock.
Yes, as you peek out, you notice it's to the south, almost the middle. There's like almost a separate balcony cutting over the underneath the first floor where this massive grandfather clock, probably standing as tall as you, if not taller. If everything else is dirty and grimy, this grandfather clock is almost shiny and polished.
Oh, don't like that. And I close the door. Well, everybody, the western door over there looks like is it's gonna lead back down to the main entryway. I saw that grandfather clock that we were hearing when the mimic arrived, and well, if I'm being honest, it gives me a bad feeling. So I don't wish to go near it right now. I'm gonna check this room to the south. And as before, he jiggles the door handle, see if it's locked or not.
Before you get to the south door, let's move to our Ruskarn. Are you doing anything special? You know, you got Elias reading. You see Byron kind of checking doors or checking rooms. So what are you doing?
Roskarn is, pretty low on resources, so he would be taking any downtime he could to get them back.
Are you like focusing for your focus points? Or are you like sleeping, trying to get your spell points back?
Yeah, kind of all of the above.
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, we'll go back to Elias real quick then. Elias, since I saw you got back, give me another. If you want to continue researching, because you're already 2 hours into your 8-hour rest, so any more and you won't get no benefit from this sleep, but you can continue researching if you want to.
I think Elias would not push his limit right now, especially with everything that they have gone through so far. Essentially down 2 party members. I think Elias is smart enough to know that he needs to put this book down and try to get some rest.
Okay, awesome. Back to Byron. It hasn't been 2 hours for you because you've just been looking at doors. So if you want to continue exploring a little bit, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'm gonna check this southern door. It's the only other one we got, unless I want to jump out the window. Is it locked?
It is unlocked. Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna just open it. Looks
Open
like
it
it goes into a hallway.
Yes, you see a long, ominous hallway, but as you kind of poke your head out, lightning flashes behind you, that window to your east. You think you see an image outside. As you turn your head, you're going to have to give me a check. 1 second.
Oh.
Give
Seeing
me...
that, I might actually step forward into the hallway and look out the window at it.
I just posted it into
Okay.
chat. Give me that will save.
Badass. You want that public, right?
That can be
Will.
public, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, 10 on the die for 21.
21 is a success. All right,
go.
so what you see, let me find it, is you see what looks like a figure outside, almost shadowy. A tall man with a long, like almost handlebar mustache. One feature you notice is he's missing a hand.
I'll peek my head into the room really quick, because actually that is very pertinent to our recent situation. I step back in through the thing and the door, and I look at Elias and Roskar, and I'll say, the handless figure, it's outside right now. And then I'll go back to the window and look out. See if I can keep him in my sights.
You see it moving north. It's going as far as it can until it's out of your vision through that window. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna follow it. Step to this other window.
Again, you see it enter your vision. Not trying to be quiet, the rain pouring on it because it looks like not like a ghost, like a solid figure as it continues to go north again until it's out of view.
Then obviously I run to the northern window where the looks like an alcove in the building is at.
Yeah, you see what looks like a courtyard. You see some statues, small statues. One looks maybe a Pharasma, you're not sure from this distance and darkness. You see the man outside the fence of this courtyard walk north, continuing around the house like he has a purpose, a place to go.
He's going around the house. I don't think I can chase him that far.
Let's split the party and find out.
I was just about to say, I don't want to split up. Everyone's obviously going to be watching me. They're only reading and resting, so it's not like I'm sneaking away. We can't just leave Varric either. Dragging him's going to make us slow down. I think logistically, Byron is going to recognize that this might not be an opportunity to chase, even though he so badly wants to. Going around the north, I don't know, something tells me I need to. I'm going to look at Roscar and Elias, and before I take off, I'm going to ask them what they think. It's going around the building up to the north. Should I make it to one of the rooms across this way over there that we can see through this window?
Yeah. Since we did have a long time from last session, you do remember downstairs in that library, there was a shadowed window where you could probably jump through into that courtyard and follow him without going through the house.
Oh, genius.
I only let you remember that because it was a long time between sessions.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. I totally spaced. Fucking A. We gotta save Ulberd, you guys. I'm charging out there.
Right. Hold on, I think there's a way to move these maps without everybody moving.
I think when I run, I'll yell at Roscarn to follow me.
Do you follow Roscar, or do you let him tear off into the unknown?
Elias will look at him and say, "Go!"
All right. I mean, Roscarn was going to just wait a beat to see if he got any guidance. But that would have been it. No.
All right.
Erasni doesn't necessarily speak directly to her adherents.
The y'all over here, the ones who are active is Roscar and Byron. Actually, there's a door that leads right here. That leads to the not a window. That leads to the courtyard.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go through that.
You run down into the library. You see the books. You bust through the door. You see this open, beautiful at one time library. As you see the figure just disappearing to the north.
Bam! He went around that corner. Oh, the door's out of reach. Boom. All right, I run up to the gate as fast as I can, almost probably blowing the latch off, but lifting it just in time. And I start sprinting to the north.
Do y'all run full tilt towards him?
As fast as I can.
Both of y'all, stop halfway and give me reflex saves as you're running through a storm of rain.
Ooh. You're gonna make me fall. Reflex it is.
You are fine, Roscarn. And you are fine, Baron. You step on some puddles, some loose twigs. You begin to lose your stepping, but you catch it as you continue running at full tilt. You hit that corner, running around the back, and you see the figure disappear into what looks like a forest behind the house. There's like a little tunnel, a little pathway that's overgrown, leading deeper behind the manor as he disappears into that tunnel.
What do you say, Roscarn?
Quick scout. Do not engage. I gotta tell you, Byron, I don't have much juice left. I need to rest. If we want to continue this, I'm okay with scouting, but if anything comes up, if we get attacked at it or anything, I'm beating feet back to that library to meet up with Elias and make a stand there. Because it's not that I don't trust your abilities, but we've both been very taxed so far, and I think we do need to take some time to take care of ourselves before we can take care of anybody else.
Yes, you may be right. I could be being a bit rash. I just want to see Ulberd return to his wife.
That's a fair and noble goal. I do not think... Noble, could you just ping on the map where about this tunnel
Yeah, I'm
is?
gonna pull up a little bit better map for y'all. Let me pull your tokens on here. This is actually gonna
Sure.
show the entire manor house for y'all. Okay, so here's the entire manor house now. Okay, so you see where that path is running.
Yep.
See the maps? Yeah, that's where it disappeared into.
Metagamey here a little bit. I already see what's on the other side of those trees, and I don't like it. All right. Yeah. I agree with Roskarn. I have no intention of engaging, but I have to see where this thing went. Ulberd could be over there.
Then we approach cautiously, we approach carefully, and as stealthily as we can. And then he will again look around himself at the, even though on the map it's showing as blue, it is kind of a deeper crimson light emanating off of him. Yeah, and he's going to point this out to Byron and just say, "This will not stop glowing. I can't stop it from glowing. That's going to make a big impact on our ability to be stealthy through those woods.
Here, wrap yourself in my cloak."
It doesn't matter. It's going to. It's a divine light. You can't hide it.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
So,
we're gonna do a little theater of the mind right here. All right, y'all begin to make your march slowly, stealthily towards the path. Right.
Straight through, quiet as can be.
As you move, the storm, it doesn't raise around you, it hunts. The rain slants sideways like silver knives stinging at your exposed skin. The wind howls through the trees as you approach the pathway. Every step is a negotiation in this darkness. Lightning splits the sky without warning. Dark white that turns into a frozen painting, and as you approach the pathway, this lightning flash, you see something twitch. You see the figure in the distance disappear into the woods, down the path. That's not what twitched. Something off the road, off the side of the path. A plant, a creature? You're not quite sure. But it grows in size. It begins to move, blocking the way. As you see almost like a root creature begin to stand up. Roots growing out of his head, out of his arms. Long hands, the roots tapering off as it pulls itself out of the ground like it was recently planted. As it screeches at you, you are all within 20 feet of this creature as it is ready to attack. What do y'all do?
Roskarn, run.
Do y'all run? Do you fight?
No, we're
Skarn
running.
immediately puts his hand out and grabs Byron and says, "Back to the library." And then he just turns around and beats feet.
Yep.
Real quick, I'm not gonna say it, no problem. One more agility check as you are running back to the library through this storm.
Oh, I swear to God. Noble, no, don't do this to me.
Roscar, you are fine. You have a nat 20. You have no problem navigating this. You we got to get back. Oh, you're good too. That's
thank
another
God.
crit. Plus 10. So y'all have no problem. The creature does not follow. It seems to stay planted where it's at. You notice as you make your way back out of the rain and into the house upstairs. You see Elias almost maybe like he didn't really notice y'all gone. He's still buried in his book.
And just Roskarn will make sure that all the gates and doors are closed as we come back through them.
Yeah, definitely.
Good move. I totally didn't do that. I just ran.
As the scene begins to fade, you are settling down to rest. The doors are shut. Varric lays on this table, breathing steadily. Every now and then his arm twitches, or he'll yell out, "My Pharasma," or "Ulberd." But besides that, he seems to be sleeping peacefully. As the scene fades on this manor, there's more questions to answer. Your companion, Ulberd, is gone. Hopefully, you'll see him again, as that is the end of episode 8. Thank you, everybody, for playing.
Let's go. Sad
Right
episode.
on.
Good news is, before next session, you all will be leveled up.
Oh, amazing.
Yay.
Be level 4 starting next week.
Let's go. Level 4. I'm pretty sure I leveled my dude all the way up to whatever our max level is for this adventure. I had him ready to go.
Again, everybody, thank you for listening. I'm Noble Goblin. And this is Crit and Grit Media. Mia, any advertisements or announcements you want to make before we end?
Oh, as always, thanks for listening, everybody, again. And yeah, if you want to follow us and see what else we've got going on, we do YouTube content every now and again. We've got a website that you can find everything we do. It's critandgritmedia.com. And after Malevolence is over, we're going to be working on I'm planning on doing some homebrew content after that. We're going to be doing a homebrew world I call Gamera. And that's going to be pretty fun, I think. I don't want to spoil too much, but we'll just say it's World War related. And that's as far as I'm going to go. But
That is awesome.
that's all I have to say.
I also want to say, as far as the next game, I'm looking forward to jumping in the player seat. I'm going to be it's like a gangster goblin that throws bombs. I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah. I'm going to be a sniping dwarf.
And one thing, when we do Alec and Star, we will be live streaming, so you can watch us and not just listen to us.
Yes. Come join in on the live act. It'll be a good time.